This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11. Alright, it's verse 6. It says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." Alright, I'd like to start the video by giving all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Okay, as we read here, man, in Hebrews 11 and 6, it says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." Alright, when he says here, he must believe that he is, alright, going back to his name, man, Yahweh, meaning that he is or he exists. Alright, also going back to the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 14 to 11, alright, when he said, "I am that I am." Alright, but it says here, without faith it is impossible to please him, right? For he that cometh to God must believe that he is. Alright, so pretty much, man, faith, alright, faith is like the foundation of, your belief in the Most High. Alright, for you to believe in the Most High, man, it pretty much means you you have to believe that he exists, right? So let me go to the definition of faith. Right, so faith, complete trust or confidence in someone or something. It's a strong belief in the doctrines, of religion, but religion is nonsense. Okay, it says based on spiritual conviction rather than proof. So meaning you must be spiritually convicted that he exists. Okay, you must believe that he exists, man. That's the step to pleasing the Most High. You can't please someone you don't believe doesn't exist, right? That's impossible. Okay, and moreover, if that being is not someone that you can see. Okay, for you to believe that the Most High exists, you have to believe that, right? And we don't see the Most High, right? But we need to have faith that he is, right? And that is the first step of pleasing him, right? It says, "By faith Noah, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, right, moved with fear and prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of righteousness, which is by faith." Okay, and it says here, "By faith Abraham, when he was called to go into a place which he should after receive an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went." Alright, so pretty much you also having faith in Yahweh, man. Okay, it's also a basis of you obeying him, because you can't obey something that you don't believe exists. Right, that's why having faith pretty much is the first step of you pleasing him, right? It says, "By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise." Alright, so man, as we read, faith is pretty much you having the confidence and trust. Alright, you need to have those things to please the Most High. Alright, the Most High Yahweh. Now let me go to the book of 1 John. Alright, 1 John 3. Alright, even here, man, it says, I'm going to read from verse 2. It says, "Beloved, now we are the sons of God, Right? How can you be the son of God, man, without faith? Right? You need to have faith, right, to be the son of God. Right? It says, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when we shall appear, we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Right? It says, and every man that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. Alright. So remember what we read, right? We read what faith is. So now let's go to what hope is. Alright, and I think I opened it somewhere here. Alright, let me just search the word quickly. It says hope, so I'm going to go here. It says grounds for believing that something good may happen, a person or thing that may help or save someone, right? A feeling of expectation and desire for a particular thing to happen. Alright. So as we see here, man, it says that every man that hath this hope, right, in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. Alright. So purifying yourself meaning you depart from all evil, man. Right? And the spirit of unbelief, that is also, it pretty much taints you, right? Spirit of unbelief, it's opposite to spirit of belief. Right? So meaning what? Without you believing, right, you pretty much don't have hope. Right? And of course I'm talking about hope in the Most High Yahweh. Right? So faith and hope, man, they go hand in hand. Alright. So I'm gonna go read another scripture. Isaiah chapter 30, and I'm gonna read verse 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, right? That they may add sin to sin. Right? That goes back to where we read in 1 John 3 and 3. Right? Adding sin to sin, meaning what? They do not purify themselves, as in they do not have hope, and they have the spirit of unbelief. Right? I mean, ultimately they don't believe in the Most High, man. Right? And they don't do the things that are pleasing to Him, which is why they do which is why they add sin unto sin. Alright, it says that work to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth. Alright, when you say they have not asked at my mouth, it's talking about the scriptures and the prophets. Alright, because the Most High spake through the mouths of the prophets. Alright, and the prophets, all those things were in the Bible. Okay. It says to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and trust and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Alright, let's look at the word trust, man. When you look at the word trust, alright, it says firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something. Alright, so meaning what? These people, man, they pretty much don't believe in the Most High. Alright, so what do? They trust in the shadow of Egypt. Okay. And if you see, man, in a lot of the scriptures, also going back into Proverbs, the Most High always wanted us to trust in Him. Right? And even going back to the books of Moses, man, He always wanted us to trust in Him. Right? He showed us the miracles, the wonders, but still our people, they didn't trust in Him. Okay, they trusted in some other gods and some other people. Meaning what? They did not believe that he exists. Okay, that's why also when you look at I believe it was Exodus, right, when they made that golden calf, right, and they said, and whoever made that golden calf said, "This is your God that led you out of Egypt." Right, meaning they didn't believe in the Most High, man. Right, people didn't believe in things that they didn't see. Okay, it says, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh," reading on verse 3, "shall be your shame, and trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion." Right, the strength of Pharaoh. Right, Pharaoh was a man. Okay, this Pharaoh guy, he was just a guy, man. Alright, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 20. It says, "Now know that I, Yahweh, saveth his anointed, and he will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength, right, of his right hand." It says, "Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we," okay, "but we will remember the name of Yahweh our God." Alright, so we're gonna remember the name of our God, man. Right, and when remembering that, man, we have to have faith and do the things that are pleasing unto him. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the book of Jeremiah 17 and verse 5. Verse 5 says, "Thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, right, and maketh flesh his arm." Right, when it says maketh flesh his arm, it's talking about his strength, okay? Right, because in your arm you have strength, man. Okay, me being right-handed, I have strength in my right arm. Alright, but of course that doesn't mean I trust myself. Okay, but these people, they do, because remember we read in Psalms 20 that they trust in chariots, right? And the strength of Pharaoh, man, says here in Jeremiah, "Thus saith Yahweh, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, whose heart departeth from Yahweh." Alright, so meaning what? These people trust in man and they don't trust in the Most High. Alright, because they don't believe that he exists, man. And if you go look in the book of Numbers, Exodus, even Deuteronomy, man, our people always had the spirit of disbelief, right? And them having that spirit of disbelief, pretty much resulted in them doing the things that were not pleasing to the Most High. Right, and that's what scriptures tell you. For you to please the Most High, you must believe that he exists. Okay, and for us these days, it's pretty much extremely relevant, right? Because unlike our forefathers who have seen the miracles, we haven't. Right, we have not seen Ezekiel. We have not seen, the Most High do his miracles. Okay, but I'll get to that. Right, but as it says here, "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, whose heart," right, your heart meaning your mind, "departeth from the Lord." Right, so as you can see, man, the more you trust in man, the less you will trust in the Most High. Okay, so these things, they go hand in hand. And I want to go to this account right here. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29. And I'm going to be reading verse 2. It says, And Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, Ye have seen all the Lord did before your eyes in the land of Egypt unto Pharaoh. Right? And this thing, man, reminds me of Isaiah 30. Right? Got people trusting in Pharaoh, man, and the Most High pretty much toppled down Pharaoh. Okay? So pretty much, man, how people are stupid as hell. The Most High takes down a nation, right, showing you his strength and his power, right, and saying you should believe in him, but you do not, you trust in the people who have just been taken down by him. How does that make sense, bro? Hey man, it's pretty much just demons, bro. It's pretty much just these people having, demonic spirits in them, right? The spirit of unbelief, man. Okay. It says, and Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, Ye have seen all that the Lord did before your eyes in the land of Egypt unto Pharaoh and unto all his servants, unto all his land. Right, you can read about these things in Exodus. Right, it says, the great temptations which thine eyes have seen, the signs and those great miracles. Yet the Lord hath not given you an heart, meaning a mind to perceive, and meaning a mind to understand, okay? And eyes to see, and ears to hear unto this day. Alright, so meaning they saw all the things that they see, that they saw, right? The miracles, the signs, but yet they did not believe. Okay? And man, this is pretty much evident all over the place. Alright, you still had people who did not believe when even Yahushua did those miracles. Right? Because it's not given for them to believe, man. Right? It's given to us to believe. Right? That's why it says in Psalms, some trust in chariots, right? But we will remember the name of our God, right? And this pretty much is a spirit, man, that these people have. That spirit of unbelief. Right? They pretty much don't believe in the Most High, bro. Right? So don't be, taken by people saying they believe in God, this, that. All right. Especially these days, okay? Because we're pretty much living in a generation that is faithless. Alright, so this is the book of Hebrews. I'm going to read chapter 3. Take heed, brethren, lest there be any of you an evil heart of unbelief, right, in departing from the living God. Alright. So pretty much, man, you having an evil heart of unbelief, right? Meaning you having that mind that doesn't believe, right? That's really departing from the living God, right? That's what Scripture tells you. For you to please the Most High, you have to have faith that He exists, right? Because first, for you to go to Him, you must believe that He exists. Okay? And we can go read about it right here. I believe it was Isaiah 30. Because remember it says the spirit of unbelief will depart you from the living God, right? So we're going to go back to Isaiah 30. It's pretty much saying the same thing. Alright, what did they do? They departed from the Most High and went to Pharaoh, right, to strengthen themselves. Okay. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And I like what it says when it says the shadow of Egypt. Alright. which reminds me of the book of Revelations, where it says, their dead bodies shall lie in the streets. Okay, and that city, it's pretty much spiritual Egypt. Right, so pretty much even today, we know that spiritual Egypt, man, is talking about Babylon. Okay, which is Esau, Edom. Right, I'm gonna say Esau, Edom. Right, but if you look at previous videos, you know who Esau, Edom is. Right, so even today, man, you still got people who trust in the shadow of Egypt, whether they know it or not. They still trust in the shadow of Egypt. Right, and prime example, man, it says, is it Thessalonians, where it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. Right, you go into the scriptures telling people there's gonna be world war, there's gonna be wars and all these things. They don't believe that, man. Right, they tell you that the UN wouldn't allow that. Nothing's not gonna happen. The nations are not gonna go to war because the UN exists. Blah blah blah. All that dumb things that they believe in. Right, they also pretty much don't have the spirit of unbelief. Right, because us living at this time, we know that those things are gonna happen. Right, so I'm gonna go to the book of 2nd Esdras. Second Esdras 1 and 32. Right, but before I get 2nd Esdras 1 and 32, let me go to the book of Numbers. Yeah, let me start at the book of Numbers, and Numbers 13 and 31. Because remember, man, these people had spirit of unbelief, although they saw the miracles and everything. Right, here's an account of that. It says, and they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land, right, through which we have gone to search it, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw therein are men of great stature. And so many men, this land was big. Okay, this land was big. The trees were big. Because remember, it says here giants were living in there. So you're expecting it to be big and everything. Okay, and they were pretty much overwhelmed by that. It says, and we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight, meaning they saw themselves as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. Okay, and let me show you, man, what happened after. Right, Numbers 14 says, and all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and all the people wept that night. Right, and remember, man, at this point they have seen the miracles that the Most High did. Right, in Egypt. Right, they already saw the chariots. They pretty much even saw, the chariots of the Most High in Mount Sinai. Okay, when they were pretty much shaky in their boots, when the Most High spoke to them and they said, hey Moses, man, let the Most High speak, because if he speaks, we're gonna die. They have already seen those things. Okay, it says all the children of Israel murmured against Moses, right, and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, would God we had died in Egypt. Right, meaning they pretty much like, damn, I wish we would have died in Egypt, in the land of Egypt. Right, or would God we died in this wilderness. Right, and wherefore saith Yahweh, right, brought us unto this land to fall. So pretty much the same, why did the Most High bring us unto this land? To fall by the sword, that our wives and children should be a prey. Were it not better for us to return to Egypt? Meaning, wasn't it better for us to go back to Egypt? Right, remember, man, even today people trust in this damn shadow of Egypt. Right, in Egypt, man. Right, and this was in the book of Numbers. Even in Jeremiah, they still trusted in Egypt. Even now, they still trust in Egypt. Okay, and they said one to another, "Let us make a captain, and let us return to Egypt." Right, meaning they wanted to elect a leader so that they can go back to the land of Egypt. Right. And Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. Right? And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, right? The son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land. Right? Meaning they ones who went to search that land. Right? It says, rent their clothes, and they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land which we passed through to search it is this an exceeding good land. Meaning it was very good, man. Because you gotta imagine, the giants were living there, and remember it says it is a land that swallows up the inhabitants thereof, meaning the trees were big, the fruits were big, so everything was big there, man. It says, if the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us unto this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against Yahweh, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Hey, bro, we have a saying here where that sometimes we like to refer to people as snack, right? Meaning you can pretty much eat them up, bruh. That's what it's saying here, okay? Meaning these people are snack, we can take them down easily, right? Just for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not. Right? It says, but all the congregation bade them with stones. Them with stones, right? Meaning they threw stones at them. Right? It says, and the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me? Right? For all the signs which I have showed among them, meaning they did not believe, bruh. Right? Why? Because they had that spirit of unbelief. Right? That's why scripture says, those that have hope in him purify themselves. Right? But these people, they did not believe, man. Right? So I'm gonna close it out on this last scriptures here. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 1, and I'm going to be reading verse 32. Alright, it says, I sent unto you my servants the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, your house is desolate, I will cast you out as the wind doth stubble. Okay. And your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandment, and have done the thing that is evil before me. Right? What is that thing that is evil before the Most High? Remember we read it in Hebrews, man, which is what? The evil spirit of unbelief. Right, and I told you, you're not believing in the Most High will result in many things. Okay, you'll depart from the Most High. You'll end up going to serve other gods. You'll end up trusting in man. You'll end up not trusting in the Most High. Okay, and pretty much you'll end up doing things that are not pleasing unto Him. Okay, your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have shewed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. Right? And one of the things that the Most High commanded us is to trust and have faith in Him. Okay? And they have seen no prophets, and yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. Okay, this scriptures here is talking about us in these last days. Right? Why? Because we acknowledge our transgressions that we did against the Most High, and we have not seen prophets. And by prophets, I'm talking about Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and the likes. Right? And we have not seen wonders or signs like our forefathers did, but yet we do what? And yet we do what the Most High command us to do. Right? And I like what it says here when it says, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, right? To whom I have shewed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. They have not seen, they have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. And I will take to witness the grace of the people to come. And it's talking about us in these last days, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say. Right? In spirit. Right? Why? Because you have the spirit of belief, unlike the spirit that our forefathers had, which is the spirit of unbelief. Right? In these days, we have the spirit of belief. Right? And us having the spirit of belief, we cling to the Most High, and we strive to do the things that are pleasing unto Him, unlike our forefathers. Right? And to recap, man, without faith it's impossible to please the Most High. Right? Because if we just read here through scriptures and precepts, we saw that our people not having faith in the Most High resulted in them trusting in men, trusting in the shadow of Egypt, right? And having that spirit of unbelief, having departed from the Most High, yet they saw all those signs. Right? So Akia, man, we need to have faith in the Most High and believe that He exists, right, to do the things that are pleasing unto Him. Alright, with that, I hope you've been edified or you got something out of this video. Okay.